Okay, guys, today I'll be interviewing my friend Michael Lozier. He's the two best-selling author of The Law of Attraction, The Science of Attracting More of What You Want and Less of What You Don't Want. And his another book is The Law of Connection, The Science of Using NLP to Create Ideal Personal and Professional Relationship. Michael caught the attention of Oprah Winfrey, who interviewed him 4 times on her Soul Series radio show on Sirius XM satellite radio. Michael went on to enjoy a long year hosting his own show on Oprah and Friend Radio. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, I'm doing good. I still have the Throwback Thursday memory. It was like 10 years ago, but I still have the graphic. So I'm very excited.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me today.
Well, thank you for doing the interview. You were so kind to be patient with me for doing this. I'm very grateful for you, Michael. Okay, I would like to ask, why did you create this book, and how can it uncover our life purpose?
Okay, well, you're talking about my new book, Your Life Purpose. Yeah, you're holding it up there too. Well, after Law of Attraction is like 17 years old, right? And everybody wanted me to write an advanced book, and there is no advanced book. There's one. It has everything. It has what you need to say, what you need to do, how you need to do it, the 3-step formula, the processes. It's got worksheets, it's got examples, it's got case studies. There's no need for a second book. So my publisher said, well, we want a second book. What else? And people really liked the way I wrote my book, Law of Attraction. They really liked the style. Well, that's because I understood the 4 learning styles. So cue my second book. My publisher said, can you write about what you know about how people learn and process information, because people really liked your book. So that was in 2009. So that's like 8 or 9 years ago. But in the meantime, I'm, my friends, I'm going to coffee shops with them, and I know a lot. I know a lot about human behavior. I know a lot about Law of Attraction, and I could hear people talking, and most people would always talk about being unfulfilled, or they'd compare their life to mine and say, wow, you're fulfilled, without using that word. And I would ask them what fulfills them, and a lot of people didn't know. Often at a coffee shop, the ones with the placemats, the old cafe style, I would write notes, and because I knew about their style, because I'm good at that, and because I knew about Law of Attraction, I would build a list, and I would come up with 4 or 5 needs that I think were important to them. And in my book, I start off with a list of, just looking for it. In the book, I start off with a list of 30 needs, and you can get a copy of these, and the book is a 5-step process. So we'll give you the address at the end of the show on how to download this. So after a 1-hour coffee meeting and through observation, because they were my friend, I also knew I would say this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I would say, I'm just going to make it up. So what if we could get adventure, community, leadership, and fun? My friend would say, you're kidding me, right? Like that would just totally get me excited. And then I would say, name a job that you had where these were missing. He said, oh, there was a job I just hated. Are you starting to see the relationship? When these fulfillment needs are missing, then people are experiencing joy. And that's what the purpose of this book is. The purpose of this book is so you figure out your life's purpose. But hopefully I made that easy for people. You see, your life's purpose is just to feel good. That's it. Like, really? Yeah, it's just to feel good. But the real question is, what makes me feel good? These all can make you feel good, but when you know what your top 4 are, then you become very focused. It's like, that's focused Johnny. It's like, okay, would I take that job? No. Why? Because I wouldn't get them met. Would I take this job? Yes. Why? Because I get it met. And particularly young people, they don't know what fulfills them and what doesn't. Some of them haven't had enough experience at work. So imagine if you're looking for a job, someone says, hey, Michael, you could be a crane operator. And I would say, I wouldn't get my needs met there. But it'd say, hey, Michael, would you go on stage and talk to 1,500 people? I say, oh, yeah. And I'd probably do it for free because I get my needs met. So you understand, once you know what your needs are, then you can say yes or no to things. This is important, everyone, to know. You don't have to say yes just because you were asked. Just because you were asked to offered that job doesn't mean you have to say yes. Just because somebody suggested that you should be doing this, you don't have to say yes. But people don't know what their guidelines should be. This is your guideline. Find out what's important to you, and then you have boundaries, and nobody can argue with me. I'd say, no, I was asked once to go to China to talk to 15 people for 30 minutes in English and have it translated. I said, no. Dude said, it's a lot of money. I said, no. It's a 16-hour flight plus a day just to recoup and get over the time zone. So that's 4 days out of my life, because it messes up a day. 4 days out of my life to talk to 15 minutes? Absolutely not. I would get nothing met there. My needs would not be met there. But if they had said, we've got 1,500 people and you're on stage for 2 hours, I'll say, book me on the next flight, because my needs would get met differently. That's why it's important to know. So again, your life's purpose is to feel good or experience joy. The real question is, what brings me joy? So in the book, I narrow it down. So make a long story short, I wrote the book because I would give people such aha moments in the coffee shops and restaurants. Then 5 years ago, I'm in Malaysia. I'm on a tour in Malaysia, and there was 2 couples in the car, and they were taking me to the event, and they were my sponsors, right? As soon as I get in the car, the driver, my friend, said, we always hear you talking about being fulfilled and not fulfilled. And because they asked me to do a lot of things when I'm there. Hey, would you like to do this? And I would say, not really. This, how come? I said, well, honestly, I wouldn't be fulfilled. So they heard that as like something they wanted to have. They wanted that skill set to know, right? So we're leaving Kuala Lumpur. We're going to Penang. It's about a 3-hour drive. And we already planned 2 food stops, because that's all they do in Malaysia is eat. So in that 3-hour drive, we were having 2 picnic stops. We get in the car, we're going an hour, and I'm asking the driver, Siva, questions. And I'm asking him different questions, and I'm trying to figure out which one of these are his. And so we stopped at this picnic area in Malaysia, and we had something to drink, and we sat down, and I told my friend, I said, well, I finished the exercise, and I think I know what fulfillment needs are important to you. And he said, and I was taking notes in the car, and I said, I think they're this. I think they're this one, whatever. This one, this one, this one. And his wife was the teen there. She said, oh my God, Michael, did you ever nail that? And I always like to ask this question. Can you remember a time when you didn't get those met? And him and his wife at the very same time said, a job that he had 4 years, he hated it. Why? Because these were missing. So I was pretty proud, you know. I thought, oh, wow, I helped him with this process. And then his wife said, oh, I did mine too. I said, what? So the 3 people in the back seat all did it. So what I thought was a very intuitive, complicated subject was really the process of elimination, much like Survivor. So they were in the back seat, quiet as church mice, and they were figuring it, and they all said, well, here's what I think mine are. And they were so excited, and they refer to these fulfillment needs all the time. So that 2-hour drive with the picnic stop told me that it's not an intuitive process that I thought I had. It's actually a process that's duplicatable, which birthed the book, Your Life's Purpose.
Yeah, you make it very simple to understand. All of your books are very easy to understand. Thank you so much.
Well, that's the compliment is because of the NLP. It's understanding the 4 styles. So even though I was just teaching right now, I was showing stuff, I was duplicating stuff, I was asking questions, I was repeating stuff. So I was tapping into all the styles when I was doing that.
Right. And in your book, you talk about reframing. And can you go into depth what is reframing and how can we use it?
Yeah, well, the word reframing is an NLP distinction. It's a word from NLP, and it's a very important word. Now, to reframe something, like, you know, there's a picture behind me, reframe it physically means to put a new frame around it. And you know what? The picture would look different. It had a black frame. So when you reframe something, it means you're looking at it differently. So instead of from over here, I'm looking at it from over there. So for example, I live in Canada. I live on the West Coast, north of Seattle on an island. And it's like Seattle with the rain. So people say, oh, I hear it rains there a lot. And so instead of, now I want to make it a positive twist, I want to reframe, I said, yes, and it's Canada's garden city. Matter of fact, There's more gardens and flowers in Victoria than any other country in Canada all year long. You see how I took the negative point of view? Now, you and I have done it. We talked about the glass is half full. So to reframe that, you would say the glass is half empty. That's what reframing means, is to look at something from a different point of view.
So you're saying that we can turn a negative situation into a positive?
Yeah, well, yes, you should be able to do that. You could say, yeah, and that's the skill set. And what it does, it sets a different tone. One time recently, they were talking about having to remember a phone number or something, and then I said, well, this new city got an area code change, and the woman was complaining about it, and it was like a waste of a complaint. She said, oh, sorry. I said, well, and here's how I reframed it. Everything's difficult at first, and my hunch is over the next couple days, you won't even remember what the old one was. Shut her up. She shut her up right on the spot. She said, you're right. Everything at first is a little difficult, but she said, I'll forget about this in 3 days. And it's like, yeah, I know, I just said that. So that's how you reframe bad news. Where I live, there's a lot of forest fires. That's bad news. The good news is that all the carbon from the trees, they fertilize so they actually burn forest on purpose, so it starts a new forest, because some of the forests are old, so there's nothing growing. There's no animals. It's too dark. There's no animal. There's no plants. There's no plants in the forest so when there's a forest fire, the reframe is, now there'll be whole new life on that hill. There'll be animals. There'll be birds. They'll see how I made the positive story negative. Now, is it easy to do all the time? No, it's not. But it is a good way to help people get from a bad mood to a good mood. So it's a good question. It's called reframing.
Reframing. And over the years, I have seen a lot of people struggling using the law of attraction. What can they do to use the law of attraction effectively, like really effectively?
Well, the challenge with law of attraction, everybody thinks it's working when you attract positive things. Hey, I attracted money using law of attraction. Hey, I attracted a girlfriend using law of attraction. Hey, I just got a new client. But the real news is that law of attraction's on all the time. So when you're attracting the negative thing, you need to say the same thing. It's like, oh, look, I attracted this. I must have been sending a negative vibration. And then when you get a parking spot, you say, hey, I must have attracted this. I must have been sending a good vibration about the parking spot. And then somebody gets angry at you, and you should be able to say, I wonder why I attracted this. I must have been giving it attention. The word I'm wanting everyone to get to answer your question is the word accountability. So in other words, being accountable for everything that you attract. And accountable means 2 words in it, account and able. So accountable means that you're able to account for why you attract everything, even if you don't like it. So when you find the money and you get the client and somebody flirts with you and you win a prize or you get a parking space, when you get that, you can say, I can account for that because I've got good vibes about parking spaces. I've got good vibes about clients. That is why that's here. You see how I was able to account for why I attracted the positive things? Now, we need to be able to do the same thing around negative things. You need to be able to say, I can account for why that cancellation happened. Because you know what? I've been complaining about cancellations all day, and law of attraction matched it. You don't have to like it, but you need to be accountable for everything that you're attracting. And one way to reduce negative things is when you give negative things attention, ask the question, so what do I want instead? Oh, I'm thinking about clients canceling. Oh, what do I want instead? Oh, I love it when they keep their appointment. Remember last week I had eight people kept their appointment. That was friggin' awesome. I like that. See what happens. When you change your thoughts, the vibration changes. And now you're sending and offering a new vibration. And the only way to get a different result is to send a different vibration. So when you catch yourself giving attention to what you don't want, say, so what do I want? And then the words change, and then the vibration changes, and then the results change.
What does success look like to you?
Feeling good. If it was, did I feel good during this interview? Yeah, then it was successful. Did I do an awesome seminar last week with 250 people? Oh yes. Did I love it? Yeah, that was successful. Did I get paid well? Yeah, that was successful. So it could be money, or it could be getting my fulfillment needs met. It's just how I feel. If I did a seminar and didn't like it and didn't get the results, that wouldn't be very successful for me.
Okay. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. You've been so kind and nice to me. Thank you for taking the time. Where can we sorry about that, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I want to give people the address. You know, the book is available on Amazon.yourcountry. You know, it's available all over the world. But if you want to get started, you can download the list. And on the bottom, I give instructions on how to start remember I said it's a 5-step process? Step number 1 is called the elimination round, like on Survivor. So download the list, read the instructions on how to do step 1 to narrow this list down, because you don't want all 30. You can go to hangoutwithmichael.com/life purpose. We'll send you this document, and then you can start step 1 so you can get more clarity about what fulfills you.
Are you saying it's for free, right?
This document is for free. The list of 30 needs is for free. I think the book is like $10 on Amazon. Really change your life for $10.
Right. Actually, your book changed my life yes. Okay. Thank you. No, sorry. Go ahead. That's it for today for interviewing with Michael Lozier. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, and I'll see you next time.